but fail to deliver? Or can Birmingham pull off one of the biggest upsets in League Cup history? In the Premier League, the gulf between them is huge. Arsenal gunning for the title, while Birmingham are still in danger of going down. They're separated by 13 places and 26 points, and Arsenal have scored twice as many goals. So no wonder the bookies make them odds-on favourites. But this is a one-off game. Anything can happen, and Alan Smith, that's what makes this final so intriguing.
Well, it is, and as the boys walk out there, they look around at the capacity crowd, and there's bound to be some nerves no matter where you've played before, the kind of track record you've got. Everybody wants to do well on the big stage, and quite often, you know, the winners are determined by who can settle the best and who can produce the best form. We know there's a gap in class between the two sides, between the two sets of players, but you know, you should never write off the underdog, and Birmingham are the underdogs today.
Well, Arsenal have played in no fewer than 19 Wembley finals in their history, but this is their first tie in the new stadium. Here comes the official presentation party, who will be introduced to both teams, followed by the national anthem, then the moment we've all been waiting for, when the season's first major cup final gets underway. Mark Hunter, Chief Executive of the competition sponsors Molson Coors Brewing Company in the United Kingdom, leads the party. The Football League chairman Greg Clark alongside him, and Catherine Leroy, a nurse with the Marie Curie Cancer Care, the league's official charity partner this season. Each club received 31,000 tickets, making this more of an occasion for the real supporters than the FA Cup final, but some would argue it's still not enough. Wembley, a magical place to be on Cup Final day, and this is a moment these officials, as well as the players, will never forget. A much shorter walk, of course, these days from the dressing room to the pitch than it was at the old stadium, but the feeling of excitement and perhaps a little shiver of nerves will be exactly the same. Alan, you've played in cup finals, you've experienced moments like this. What will the players be thinking right now?
I think they all think about their individual jobs, you know, what the manager has said in that dressing room beforehand, who they'll be facing and what they're expected to do. And you see Nikola Zigic there, he's going to play a part, but this competition, the Carling Cup, we talk about it in quite understated, subdued terms, don't we, when it's third, fourth round, but you get to the final and you get to 90,000 people crammed inside Wembley, and it's just transformed, and it's a massive game for both sets of players.
Incidentally, the Arsenal fans were allocated the east end of Wembley, where Manchester United supporters have seen their team win the last two Carling Cup finals. Now we'll have the national anthem led by opera singer Laura Wright, who has performed for Her Majesty the Queen and the Prime Minister, amongst others, a member of the successful All Angels vocal quartet. It's the 51st League Cup final, the first major trophy of the season. And what an occasion for Wojciech Szczęsny, who a year ago was playing in front of just 3,000 fans on loan at Brentford. The young Pole has become a reassuring presence for Arsenal's back four of Bakary Sagna, Johan Djourou, Laurent Koscielny and Gaël Clichy. The injuries to Cesc Fabregas and Theo Walcott have forced Arsene Wenger to make changes. Thomas Rosicky is expected to take the Fabregas role in midfield. While in attack, Sami Nasri switches to the right, André Arshavin comes in on the left, Robin van Persie down the middle. Marouane Chamakh and Nicolas Bentner are the attacking options on the Arsenal bench. It's Birmingham's first Wembley final for half a century, but Ben Foster was here just 2 years ago with Manchester United and was voted man of the match when they beat Tottenham. The back four has been Birmingham's great strength this season. Martin Jiranek in for the injured Scott Dan. Otherwise, the same players have figured in almost every game. Alex McLeish opts for a five-man midfield to try and stifle Arsenal. Barry Ferguson, the man who makes them tick, Lee Bowyer and Craig Gardner provide the running and aggression. And that means a key role up front for Serbian giant Nikola Zigic as Birmingham's lone striker. But should he need to change that system, McLeish has no fewer than three strikers on the bench: Kevin Phillips, Cameron Jerome and Obafemi Martins. We're almost ready to go. The 51st League Cup final about to get underway, with Arsenal desperate to end their six-year wait for a trophy. They may be odds-on favourites, but no Arsenal fan will need reminding that underdogs can have their day here at Wembley. Swindon in 1969, Luton in 1988. Will Birmingham ruin Arsenal's big day in 2011? The referee, Mike Dean, gets us underway. Birmingham in blue, Arsenal in red. An early touch for Stephen Carr, the Birmingham City skipper, who won this trophy 12 years ago as a Tottenham player.
Yeah, and straight away from the kick-off, they try and find Nikola Zigic, who's pulled on to McLeish. It will be interesting to see the areas into which he does drift to try and get a little bit of service and some knockdowns into those midfield boys coming from deep. And he's a huge lad at 6'8".
He scored the winner in the quarter-final against Aston Villa. He changed the game when he came on as a substitute in the semi-final against West Ham. What part will he play here today in the final? Here's Sanya, who has rarely appeared in this competition for Arsenal, the right-back making only his fifth appearance in 4 years with the club. Good strong clearance from Foster. Zigic unable to control it. Koscielny and Giroud will have to be at their best today against the threat from the big Serbian international. And here's Ferguson, always a key man for Birmingham. Good challenge on him by Song. Rosicki given the Fabregas role just behind the striker Van Persie.
Oh, Liam Ridgewell at left back just stepped across Sami Nasri there, blocking his run. It was quite clever in the way that he did it. No, defending a pretty high line there, Birmingham. There's a lot of space for Arsenal to run into if they do maintain that line. I want to squeeze Arsenal, no question of that.
Zigic with the through ball, Bowyer given offside, and it's just as well for Szczesny's case that he was, because that challenge could easily have led to a penalty.
Well, that's his game, Lee Bowyer's. I mean, it did look close first time of asking. He's so good at timing those runs, and he does it here. Look at that goal, Clichy at left back playing him on. Really should have stayed down that flag, and that would have been a penalty. You're right, Alan. The referee, Mike Dean, would have had a huge decision to make within the first 3 minutes of this match.
Ron Garnfield from Somerset, the assistant referee who had that big early call to make. Remember, in last year's final between Aston Villa and Manchester United, there were a couple of major decisions for the refereeing team early on.
Well, he can only go on his linesman in that situation, can't he, Mike Dean? A tight one, but he should have been allowed to go on there.
Arsenal haven't got into their rhythm yet, but they might now, with Wilshere on the ball. Gets it back from Clichy. Still only 19, the number he wears on his jersey. Ferguson coolly back to Carr, on to Larsson, who had 4 years as an Arsenal player earlier in his career. Wilshere again. What a season he's had. Foul then. The referee Mike Dean says play on.
Well, he's played play on. Alexander Song wants to stop. He got the ball.
Nasri. Wilshere back on his feet. Sanya. Song. Here's the young man. And Percy with a layoff to Clichy. Good strong challenge coming in from Roger Johnson, who's hardly trained this week. He's had a thigh injury. A tough, resilient character who wouldn't have missed this for anything. He has played here twice before when he was at Cardiff City in the semi-final and the final of the FA Cup.
Well, you can see Birmingham's attitude. They're getting nice and tight to Arsenal. The last thing they want to do is allow those front lads in particular to settle on the ball and turn. They're getting the foot in early on here.
Liam Ridgewell, his first big final, his first game here at Wembley Stadium. Giroux's clearance. It's not fallen where he wanted it to. Gardner rather pulling the shot.
Found a bit of space though. Look on the nose for Andre Arshavin early on. Birmingham will want to make it a physical match to disturb and disrupt Arsenal's passing game.
Birmingham's first Wembley final for 55 years since they played Manchester City in the FA Cup in 1956. They lost that, and their only other major final here again in the FA Cup back in 1931 against West Brom. Given away there by Song. Zigic couldn't control it. Van Persie moves it on to Clichy. Wembley pitch, which has been relayed so often in the 4 years since the stadium opened, looking as good as I've ever seen it, Alan.
Well, it is, but Arsenal at the moment haven't been able to settle. Haven't got the passing game together yet.
Arsenal's 7th appearance in the final, their first since they lost to Chelsea 4 years ago. They won the competition twice, Birmingham once. Ridgewell unable to prevent the throw. Sanya looking for some more movement here. Rosicky gets it back to him. And Percy wanted it played early, but not there. Second opportunity. Wilshere chips it forward. Carr with a difficult one.
Well, he scored from a tight angle against Barcelona. That one was even tighter. Nice little floated chip into his path from Jack Wilshere. And a give and go. Even he couldn't squeeze it in though from that angle.
But really back to his goal-scoring best of late. 12 in his last 10 appearances. Clichy's header. Away by Carr. Larson. As though he was leaving Birmingham, the January transfer window, but that didn't happen. And here he is in a Wembley final for the first time in his career. Again, launched high and long to Zigic. Now Rosicky for Arsenal. The challenge by Johnson. This is Song. That's a good ball too for Robin Van Persie. Nasri outside him. Clever for Arshavin. Clever turn! And the keeper had to improvise, but Foster kept it out.
Yeah, moved his feet really quickly there, Ben Foster. Well, first time really Arsenal have strung some passes together and they get into a really dangerous area. Ewenick doesn't do the best of jobs there on Arshavin, it's got to be said. Loses him far too easily. Shifting that left leg across, Foster does well.
Here they come again, Arsenal, with Sanya's cross. And Carr panicked a little there.
Just needed a little shout, and I don't think he got one. It's noisy down on that pitch. But if in doubt, stick it out.
Johan Giroux gives added height to Arsenal in these set pieces. The big number 20. Well, it came right to him as well. He seemed to duck underneath it.
Well, he may have seen it late, but that was a chance, you know, he knows it. Great chance to get a firm header on target here. Zigic really switches off. He's the man marking him. In the end, it just grazes off his forehead.
He had a couple of months on loan at Birmingham about 4 seasons ago, Giroud, and credits that time with toughening him up for the challenges of the Premier League. Goal kick.
He attacks it well, Giroud. So often I think Arsenal aren't a threat, as much as they should be, from corner kicks. He enjoys those aerial tussles, though. Might just fancy himself against Zigic, although he's given away a few inches.
Looks as though it could well have been a corner, that.
Yeah.
Arsenal's midweek victory against Stoke, stretching their unbeaten run to 11 games, which includes 9 wins. Their last defeat came in the semi-finals of this competition in the first leg away to Ipswich. Terrific run they've had, which has taken them to within striking distance of Manchester United in the Premier League. They've got a lead to protect, of course, against Barcelona in the Champions League, still in the FA Cup. The first time in Arsene Wenger's era they've been involved in all 4 competitions at this late stage of the season. Sanya, Song, Rosicki, Szczelny, Giroud. Wilshere takes over. Carr quickly onto the toes of Arshavin, who committed the foul.
Well, those are the instances where they've just got to be organised. Birmingham, they know they're going to be chasing the ball for large parts of this game, that Arsenal will dominate possession, but it's how they react to that and how they shape up.
McLeish won all 5 major cup finals he was involved in as manager of Rangers, but he's never got the better of Arsene Wenger in half a dozen previous attempts. Faid, Ridgewell. Oh yeah, up against Giroud. Awkward bounce there for Song. Goal kick.
A little bit slow to get it sorted there, that bouncing ball. Arsenal at the back. It's been a good opening 11 minutes, hasn't it? Encouraging aspects for both sides.
Not just the trophy at stake today, of course, but the first European place for the winners. Johnson a full stretch. Ridgewell. Giroud had to watch the bounce with Zigic around.
That's the thing with Zigic, he won't be able to work the channels and shift himself across as much as maybe another centre-forward. He's not the most mobile. Sometimes they might lack a target if he can't get across. Birmingham.
Rosicki back into space for Arshavin. Well covered by Johnson. Really has come a long way in a short time in his career, Roger Johnson, who began as Wycombe Wanderers' youngest ever player. Here's Carr. Clearance by Foster. It's gone straight to Sanya. Giroud. They backed off and let him come forward to find Wilshere. Song. Arsenal start their patient, rhythmic passing game again. Carr intercepts.
Just a question so often with Arsenal passing your man on, because the movement, the change of positions that Arsenal do deploy, it's just a question of staying switched on. Make sure you keep your concentration.
Clichy. Song. Good shout from the Birmingham fans for a handball, not given by Mr. Dean. Nasri. Sanya. He's done brilliantly here, Nasri. Brilliant run. Fantastic football, but he couldn't finish it off.
Well, he got 3 men around him there, hadn't he, at one stage? I think in the end, you know, it might have been better if he'd have ducked inside. There was certainly a little avenue for him. Look at the quick feet, though, of the Frenchman. In the end, he went down a cul-de-sac, but gets a bit of luck at the start. Birmingham reluctant to get a foot in there once he gets in the box.
He's actually scored in all 3 of his previous appearances against Birmingham, including both Premier League matches this season.
Yeah, he was brilliant at St Andrews, wasn't he? He linked up with Fabregas. Fantastic display.
No surprise, I think, to see this, Alan.
No, I don't think so, and it's probably going to be a feature of the match. And as I say, Birmingham won't mind if they have better moments in these areas. They can get their midfielders involved.
Faye testing the young goalkeeper, Szczesny, still only 20. And he really does seem to have established himself as Arsene Wenger's current #1. Koscielny with the opportunity to keep moving forward. Rosicki's layoff. Van Persie just took too much time in possession. Zigic. Well, that's poor. Straight to Arshavin.
They just struggle sometimes. Nikola Zigic with the ball at his feet. Not the most skillful player, but he is a threat.
Would you have expected Alex McLeish to go with a more conventional 4-4-2 than the system he has chosen?
No, I don't think so. I was expecting that 5-man midfield, particularly early on, so that he doesn't get outpassed and outplayed in the middle of the park.
Zigic battling well here. He did brilliantly to keep possession. Faye. Larson. He finds Carr with a glancing header. Larson's cross, Ridgewell on the far post, heads it back into danger. And taken by Szczesny right under the bar.
Yeah, better header back across. Lee Bowyer was lurking at the far post in a little bit of space. And the use of the high ball into the box, not to Zigic this time, but there you see Bowyer.
All the pressure really on Arsenal, with very few neutrals expecting Birmingham to do anything other than lose this final. Free kick goes against Gardner.
And he stood up, Jack Wilshere there, didn't commit himself. Once he got goal side, he does well.
Birmingham beaten by penalties, of course, in the final 10 years ago in Cardiff against Liverpool. But the League Cup does remain the only major trophy they've ever won in their 136-year history. And to make it even better, they beat Villa in the final over 2 legs back in 1963. There's Larson. Invited to keep going by Gardner, and he does that. Clichy quick and decisive, though. A lovely skill from Wilshere. Arshavin. And Percy and Nasri ahead of him. It was a good challenge by Jiranek.
Yeah, he just showed a little bit too much, overran the ball there, Arshavin.
Ferguson. There's Jiranek, who's got a regular place now in the back four due to the unfortunate injury suffered by Scott Dan, who's likely to be out for the remainder of the season. And Birmingham got a lot of work to do, only a couple of points above the relegation places still. Ridgewell with a big booming ball forward, and it finds Zigic offside. Alex McLeish going through as much as his players there. He's an animated figure on the touchline.
Arsenal do that to you. They'll never let you rest, but there'd be moments that he would have been encouraged by when they have had the ball, Birmingham.
Sadly, not exactly cup final weather in North London today. It's been raining most of the morning, pretty chilly as well. Van Persie finds Son. Onto Sanya. The layoff by Van Persie, just too hard for Nasri.
Well, they're working incredibly hard in the middle of the park, Birmingham at the moment, closing down. And they're doing pretty well. It's difficult to keep that amount of work right up. Good work ethic as the match goes on. Normally, we will leave one or two more gaps.
Remarkably, Birmingham have actually won more cup ties than they have league games this season, and of course they could be back here again in the FA Cup semi-finals if they beat Bolton. Semi-finals being played at Wembley this season. Away by Clichy. And it's broken kindly for Rosicki. Arshavin. He didn't catch it.
Well, I think he caught the ground. Hurt his foot in the process there.
What do you make of his form this season?
Well, I think the last 2 or 3 weeks he's shown his best form. Actually, it's been frustrating for him in the most part. I mean, he's played a lot of games, but that goal against Barcelona, it was the culmination of a good form. More like his old self.
Came on after only 14 minutes in midweek against Stoke, and I think we've actually seen that unfortunate injury. Here's Nasri. And Percy in a good position, and he's picked him out beautifully. Gardner with the clearance. Rosicki. Nasri. Looking for Wilshere in the box. And Foster decisive.
It was just a moment's hesitation there. Between Johnson leaving it and Foster claiming.
Bowyat always anticipating those flick-ons from Zigic.
And he's made a run and he's not been tracked there, Bowyat, in the way that he wasn't when he was flagged wrongly for offside early on.
Yeah, that remains the big talking point in the first quarter of this final.
Timed it beautifully, didn't he, Bowyat? Really did.
First final he's played in his long career, which stretches back not short of 20 years. And get the throw. Bailly back to Ridgewell. Those two combining well here. And it bounced away from Giroud. Koscielny had to make the clearance.
Well, again, Arsenal not doing the tracking work because Ridgewell ran off the back of Sami Nasri down that left-hand side.
Well, if Birmingham could take the lead here, it would make this even more fascinating. You would fear for them if Arsenal were to score first. Given away here to Son. Rosicki does likewise, gives it away to Ridgewell. Foster again immediately looks for Zigic. Birmingham fans in good voice. They certainly occupied the ground as far as the local pubs around Wembley Stadium were concerned. They were here nice and early, getting those larynxes well lubricated. Here's Carr. Right. Johnson immediately onto Ridgewell. Bowyer had his feet clipped there by Wilshere, but no foul given. Nasri comes out with the ball. Van Persie. Spots the run from Clichy. It's going to be food and drink for Roger Johnson against the tiny figure of Arshavin.
But that's when it can be dangerous for Birmingham on the breakdown, when they lose the ball and Arsenal come at them quickly. But they got themselves organised. Pretty sharpish there, Birmingham.
Wilshere. Clichy. Song. Good pressure from Ferguson.
Even on the halfway line, they're not going to let Arsenal settle, are they, on the ball?
And Carr got away with that challenge. Ferguson couldn't return it to Zigic. That's a lovely layoff from Nasri to find Rosicki. And on it goes to Robin Van Persie. Superb defending from Jiranek.
Oh yeah, got it bang on, didn't he? That interception. Well, they've seen their tactics work. Birmingham closing down, squeezing Arsenal. And they'll be encouraged by that.
How long can they maintain it? It's surely harder, Alan, to defend than it is to attack.
That's right, but hard work inside Birmingham, a fit one, although they've got plenty of 30-something players in there. They do keep on going. A great spirit in the camp.
They've only scored 25 goals in their 26 Premier League games, Birmingham.
Well, there lies the problem, doesn't it? Oh,
absolutely. And Arsenal have literally scored twice as many.
Low scores in the Premier League.
A bit of needler between Bowyer and Wilshere. Koscielny. Giroud closed down quickly by Bowyer. Oh, sloppy play has given possession here to Zigic. And now to Bowyer. Fahy. It's a good cross, and Zigic was threatening. Corner.
No, what an important touch that was from Lauren Koscielny. First time really they've been able to get a decent looking ball into the big man from these kind of angles. Didn't quite attack it as much as you'd have wanted him to. This poor passing from Arsenal got themselves into trouble.
Birmingham's first corner. It's one of their strengths and arguably one of Arsenal's weaknesses. Larson will take. Headed into that crowd of players and they've scored against all the odds. Zigic on target. It's Birmingham who take the lead and the favourites Arsenal, who have a major problem now.
Well, it's normally Nikola Zigic getting the first header and it's all about the second ball. But it was all about the second ball here, wasn't it? They get a bit of luck in that it goes straight to the Giants' serve. When they initially get the flick, is it Roger Johnson, who's normally so powerful in the air, and he does a job for his team. All he has to do is just twist the body and the neck and get a little glance on it. Szczesny arrives on the scene a little late.
What an upset here at Wembley. Nikola Zigic, who gave Birmingham the lead against Arsenal at the Emirates earlier in the season, has done so again here at Wembley. His fourth goal in his last 5 games, and he seems destined to play a major part in the Carling Cup this season. Zanya's cross, meanwhile, and Arsenal so close through Van Persie to an immediate reply.
Yeah, just on the stretch there, I think they needed something to wake them up, Arsenal. They've been below par in terms of their passing. Well, it's a chance for the Dutchman. Well, that's made a game of it.
Hasn't it just? The noise now from the Birmingham end is tremendous. And the Arsenal fans have gone quiet. And Birmingham supporters watching this all around the world, from Japan to the United States, will be getting very excited at this moment. They have taken the lead against the 4-1 on favourites. And one of the finest teams in English football. Wilshere. Here's Arshavin. Up against Carr. Trying to curl it in, and Foster with a punch away. It's come out to Song. Now Wilshere. A test now of Arsenal's character. And a foul by Song, which will certainly lead to a free kick. I thought for a moment Mr. Dean was going to his back pocket for a yellow card, but he hasn't.
Yeah, Alexander Song not been his normal assured self. One or two loose passes from him, as there has been from some of his teammates.
Birmingham have got what they want, a lead to protect. And that's something they're very good at doing. Jelinek. Zigic has got support this time. And into space for Lee Bowyer. Tempting enough cross, but no one.
He thought he was offside there, you know, because he was in so much space down that right-hand channel. Lee Bowyer, he was caught as he tried to put the cross in. And they've worked it well, those midfielders. You see Giroud is 2 yards behind the rest of his defenders in the middle of the park there.
Well, he wasn't offside, and he wasn't arguably offside in that early controversial moment when he was flawed.
I feel justice has been done, won't they, Birmingham? I'm sure Alex McLeish had a little glimpse of the replay for that offside decision first few minutes, and he would have been fuming.
Birmingham have beaten Arsenal just once in the last 19 meetings that stretch back very nearly 30 years. Well, they have the breakthrough here. Clichy. Arshavin the target, away by Jelinek. Wilshere, he made his England debut on this pitch back in August. First of many, many caps, I'm sure. Song. Clichy. Arshavin in space, but Carr wins it back. Ferguson. It's all very congested in the centre. And then Foster clears. There's no Zigic for once. So Koscielny had all the time in the world to bring it down. Arshavin. Carr there again, and he was caught by Rosicki as he cleared it. Handshake and a smile from the Irishman.
They've dealt really well with the Arsenal danger men, haven't they, Birmingham? I think of players like Rosicki and Nasri and Arshavin.
He's played 21 times in his career for a couple of different clubs against Arsenal and been on the winning side just once, Stephen Carr. Zigic with a good ball on here as well, and he's through again! Well, what an opportunity that was.
I tell you, there could have been a penalty in there as well. Craig Gardner went to ground just inside the box. I mean, I think he's playing advantage in many ways, but he might have pulled it back He's actually outside the box, I think, Gardner, when Giroud sticks out a leg, but it did look a foul.
Birmingham rightly angry with Mr. Dean there, because when play went on, it was Arsenal who ended up getting a free kick. Sanya. There's Nasri. And Song. Getting wonderful support here, Birmingham. That famous theme song of theirs, keep right on to the end of the road, and they'll certainly need to do that today against this Arsenal side. But at the moment, Birmingham have got their tails up and deservedly lead. Zigic again with a good layoff to Fahy. Ridgewell. He suddenly opened up for him. Terrific play by the fullback. And on it goes here to Larsson. Pulled it across goal. And Arsenal was struggling again and still could be. Birmingham have got them on the rack.
No, all over the place, aren't they, at the moment? Arsenal, they look rudderless, leaderless. From 6s and 7s, it's a dangerous period for them.
Well, this is not turning out as most people expected. Fahy. Again, Arsenal players leaving it to each other. No one taking responsibility. And they look a bit dishevelled at the moment. Birmingham are up for the fight, almost literally there. And Koscielny waves a finger, but gets a free kick.
Well, there's a loose ball to be competed for there, and Koscielny went for it, whether Mike Dean feels that he led with his studs, and as a result, he's given the foul away. It's just on the stretch, and the fact he's gone leading with the studs has conceded the free kick. Birmingham would be happy just to have a little breather now, let things settle down.
Yeah, a much needed breather and an opportunity for each manager to get some instructions out there.
They haven't passed it well, Al, at all. Too many loose passes, and it was from Bakary Sanya's loose pass in that right-back position that actually led to the cross, which won the corner. A misunderstanding between himself and Wilshere. And they were able to float one in the box towards Zigic. And they win the corner, and they get the goal. Roger Johnson does well on the edge of the box. At that point, Zigic is always favourite. I mean, it's a misjudgment from Wojciech Szczesny, the keeper, to come and try and claim it. If he'd have stayed on his line, he'd have caught it easily.
Blue nose celebrations all round. And play will resume with a Birmingham free kick. Arsenal thought they were getting the verdict, and I'm sure that's why Arsene Wenger's complaining here. And we think that Koscielny was shown the yellow card there as well, so that's another reason for the Arsenal manager to be angry. Fourth official Kevin Friend trying to calm him down. Birmingham can take their time. Ferguson lifts it forward, looking for Johnson. The lucky deflection has taken it into Wilshere's path. On to Van Persie. Shavin on the right. Beautifully set up as well for Wilshere to hit one. Oh! What a terrific effort by Jack Wilshere. Shavin. Van Persie! Arsenal are level. The scorer hurt himself. But there's joy at the Arsenal end of Wembley Stadium now.
Well, do you know what, that man in the picture there, Jack Wilshere, they have to thank for that goal in many ways. The youngest player on the pitch brought his team forward and got them into that position with his desire and his ability. But you know what, Urenek must have thought when the ball came into Van Persie, he got this covered, he was very tight, but he just sticks the leg round the Dutchman and gets a toe on it. It's a really clever finish from him. And what a good time to score that is for Arsenal, having endured a really rocky period.
The Dutchman has scored for the 4th game in a row, but will he be able to continue? He winced with pain the moment the ball hit the back of the net, and Nicholas Bent has been sent out to warm up. He's been so desperately unlucky with injuries in his Arsenal career.
Well, for 40 minutes, Arsenal haven't really been at it, have they? Haven't played the kind of football that they're capable of, but such is the quality and the ranks that they can produce something like that within a fraction of a second. But just when you were looking for some of your senior players to drag the team forward, to turn things around, it was Jack Wilshere, the youngest player on the pitch, who started it really with that surge forward and that shot.
A vibrant Carling Cup final, 5 minutes away from the interval. A goal for each side, but still concern on the Arsenal bench about their scorer Robin Van Persie, who's now trotted to the halfway line and has been called back on.
Well, he looks as if he's going to be okay. They do not want to come off a showpiece final like this, particularly having scored.
And they met at the Emirates in the Barclays Premier League. Zigic gave Birmingham the lead, as he did today. Arsenal came back to win 2-1. Van Persie scored on that occasion as well. Bit of a soft foul there. Well, the referees decided to let them play on with Arsenal in possession. And that was a much stronger tackle by Urenek on Rosicki, which has led to a card. It was Larson, in fact, I think, who he's cautioned, rather than for the challenge, something he said.
Yeah, obviously for dissent. And they've done it well up until now, got close to those Arsenal players without really giving away too many fouls. They've just squeezed and pressed. But this one put them under pressure. Arsenal able to just get this one in the box.
Which Arshavin delivers. And Foster has mishandled it straight into the path of Giroud. Johnson trying to prevent him making the cross, and Foster recovered well. Zigic got the flick on again, away by Koscielny. Sanya. Arsenal have come back well.
Oh, it's been an entertaining first half, hasn't it? Lived up to its billing, really has.
Down the centre for Rosicki to pursue. Ridgewell got there first. Zigic took it on the chest this time for Gardner. She gives it away. Harry Ferguson. And Zigic beaten to it this time by Giroud. Sanya just keeps it in play.
You'd expect that Arsenal goal just to settle those lads out there, because they did look a bit nervous, understandably, once they got a goal down. Maybe wondering if this was going to go pear-shaped for them. A match that everybody really expects them to win. They were struggling to handle that expectation before the equaliser.
There's Nasri. The average age of this Arsenal lineup, about 3 years older than the Gunners team that competed in the last Carling Cup final against Chelsea 4 years ago. So there is more experience out there in the shape of men like this mercurial Frenchman who almost got it back there, Nasri. It's broken to Arshavin. Now it's Birmingham who are up against it.
Well, it looks like a bad injury down now, actually. Hopefully it's not too bad, but Arshavin was calling for the ref.
Nebo, you're in trouble. He's his own player. They caught him Ridgewell. Or was it something that happened subsequent to that? He's in pain either way.
Yeah, he's had a couple of knocks this first half. It's important to the way they play, though, Lebo. Yeah, they won't want to lose him.
Minimum of 4 minutes, time allowed.
Big chunk of stoppage time.
Barry Ferguson's so important to Birmingham, though, because in that holding position he's got all sorts of Arsenal players buzzing around him. And he's the organiser at the base of midfield for his team.
We talked about big match experience. No one out there has got more than him. He played in no fewer than 12 cup finals for Rangers, winning 10 of them. Bowyer limps off, but he's a tough cookie. And I think, like Van Persie a few moments ago, he'll bounce straight back. Well, you're back on the field. Arsenal back in possession. Giroud. There's Rosicki. Clichy. Arshavin closed down very quickly again by Carr, who's having a splendid game.
Yeah, he's been very tight to Arshavin, 9 times out of 10.
Zigic, the tempting target here. Came off Clichy. Now Wilshere. And he ran into the back of Barry Ferguson. No foul. Johnson. Ridgewell. Farhi. Bowyer involved again. Now Larsson. Zigic is unmarked at the moment, and Larsson looks to pick him out.
That's where they really need to get tight and close down. And the likes of Larsson, he might be 40 yards out, but he'll look up and try and find Zigic.
Giroud. Long for Van Persie. Carr with the interception again. Wilshere. Rosicki. Now Song. Arshavin. Cleverly done by Arshavin. Nasri. That's a corner. Birmingham have got to concentrate hard now.
Not been many times where Arsenal players have found space between the lines. And Arshavin did there.
Is the balance of power swinging back in Arsenal's direction here? Samir Nasri. Quick feet again from him. Sanya just lifts it up to the far post. Giroud was waiting, but it didn't reach him. Rosicki. Samya. Giroud's still in the penalty area here if they opt to hit it long, which they really do, of course, Arsenal. Nasri.
It's worth putting in just before half-time, particularly as Giroud has stayed up.
And he's still in there. Now it goes in towards him, and away by Carr. Larson. Song. Wilshere. Onto Nasri, who hits a brilliant effort. Pushed away by Foster. Well, what an ending that could have been to what's been a marvellous first half. Clichy. Song. Now Wilshere. This will surely be the final attack. Rosicky.
It's going to be a good second half out. The first half is anything to go by.
Now it's Birmingham who get one last chance. Clichy stops them getting any further.
There's an awfully long way out. I think it might have moved quite a bit in the air as it zips towards Foster, and it does.
And that was the final meaningful action of what's been an excellent 45 minutes here at Wembley. Nikola Zigic from close range with a header, giving Birmingham City the lead. Robin van Persie with a superb shot on the turn, bringing Arsenal level. At half-time in the 2011 Carling Cup final, it's Arsenal 1, Birmingham 1. Four of the last 6 finals in the League Cup were won by the team who conceded the first goal. So will history repeat itself here today? Birmingham scored first, of course, but they couldn't hold on to their lead. And now they face another 45 minutes of hard work against a free-scoring Arsenal team who need just 2 more goals to clock up 100 for the season in all competitions. Here's Giroud. No changes made by Arsenal or Birmingham during the half-time interval. Clichy. Larson barring the way to goal. Carr with the interception. What a good half he had, the Birmingham skipper. Ferguson. Onto Bowyer.
Well, they had 45 minutes to settle Arsenal, and they needed it, didn't they? But having got the equaliser, you would expect them to show a little bit more freedom and movement in the passing.
Whistle is gone, and we can quickly join our touchline reporter Jeff Shreves.
Alan, the Birmingham camp incandescent at that decision. Lee Bowyer said to me, I was at least a yard onside, and he'd been sent off, no doubt about it. Alex McLeish quite simply called it a disgrace.
Well, strong words, but it's hard to argue with their sentiment. As Wilshere springs forward with a lovely ball, and on it goes to Nasri. Shavin is clear, and he picks him out. Nasri still involved. As is Sanya now. Larson just did enough. Wilshere's picked up an injury.
He's going to whack on the head as he has attacked the ball. So outnumbered in that box there, blue shirts to red, but just a clash of heads with Sebastian Larson.
Well, some very good judges of the game reckon that this young man has a glittering career ahead of him.
Oh, what a season he's had. I mean, it's only his 35th appearance. When you think he's made his full debut for England, he's been the best player on the pitch for against Barcelona the other week. Fabio Capello thinks extremely highly of him, and why wouldn't you?
Away by Clichy. It's broken for Nasri. Well, Shavin takes over for Arsenal. It's a clever ball from Van Persie. Sanya. a good move.
Oh, just a little snapshot of what we see a little more of in this second half from Arsenal. A little more like their old selves. And coming on to this, Thomas Rosicky, it's not the easiest to ball. He's travelling at full pelt, but he's not far off at all. Lovely technique just to keep it down.
Zigic wins the header, but it's broken to Son. The foul there by Larson. Play on, says Mr. Dean. Nasri, first touch took it away from him. The Birmingham change on the way as Ridgewell makes progress down the left. Gets it back from Bowyer. Gets it all wrong.
Well, he knows what will cause Arsenal problems. He's seen it in the first half. And then the ball in the box to Zigic. Set pieces. A few more of those wouldn't go amiss in this second half.
Nasri. And Shaban's pulled away down the left. That's the ball. But once again, Carr was equal to it and gets a goal kick as well. For a man who very nearly retired from the game a couple of years ago, he really has had a second wind, hasn't he? But here comes that change.
It's an early one. If Gardner's struggling, he doesn't look too happy.
No, I don't think that's anything other than a tactical change, judging by his body language. Craig Gardner, lifetime Birmingham fan, has to leave the field, having scored the winner in the semi-final against West Ham, to be replaced by the Chile international Jean Beausejour, and he's not a happy bunny, is he? Why should he be?
Just changes the shape of that midfield. Beausejour more of an orthodox wide man. Drift out to this side.
He was a substitute in both legs of that semi-final against the Hammers. Giroud skips past Zigic and keeps on running. Shabin. And Percy's layoff finds Clichy. Shabin. Clever. Nasri. Corner given. Roger Johnson believes it should be a goal kick.
I did think from this distance that it came off the centre half last. I think it might have as well. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other there.
Arsenal now playing towards the end where their supporters are gathered. Bowyer gets it away. And for once, Russia made a mess of it. Unusual to say the least. It's good play from Larson. Carr. Very tight. That's great football from Birmingham. And that really confined middle third.
Just move Kifahi inside. Beausejour on this left-hand flank for Birmingham.
If it wasn't an injury, what do you suppose was behind that move then?
He's getting some treatment, I think, on the bench. A nice pack, so he might be feeling it. As disappointed as he looked, and still does look.
Free kick. Birmingham fans screaming for a yellow card for Clichy and get their wish.
Well, these are the kind of situations that Birmingham will hope to get some joy from.
And two of Arsenal's back four on a caution now, Koscielny and Clichy. Well, we said it before the corner that led to the goal, but Birmingham's strength in these situations is there for all to see. And it's an Achilles heel for Arsenal.
You want to make sure you keep a high line here if you're Arsenal. You don't sink back on top of your goalkeeper.
Germany took the decisive action.
Nothing wrong with the delivery from Seb Larsson.
But it needs another set piece, of course. And it was a corner that led to the goal. It's been rather closely marked this time. And Johnson making his run from the edge of the area. It's come out to Ferguson. And he'll go straight back in, I would think. Away by Giroud. Giroud can't get a touch yet. But Arsenal looking dangerous on the break with Andrei Arshavin. And Percy is in support. Couldn't pick him up.
Great pace there from Arshavin to get past his man there.
Carr. And again from Boya. Zigic is trying to time his run and stay onside, but he's failed to do so.
A couple of yards off, at least. Not the sort of player that he's normally looking beyond. Going on to balls.
Giroud. Wilshere. Nasri. Arsenal slowing it down to their pace. Johnson got away with that challenge. Nasri did not get away with his. Zigic wants it and gets it. Now finds Boya, but his shot well off target. Scored a goal in the semi-final against West Ham. Carson Young, the owner, who celebrates his 51st birthday today. Jelny. Clichy. Now Arsenal go along. And Johnson will head those away all afternoon. Ferguson. Carr hemmed in by Rositzky.
Hardly able to get the ball out to Vosijor since the subs come on. Birmingham.
I'm not sure he's even had a touch here, has he? Carr wins the header. Turned on by Fahy, away by Clichy. Arsenal backpedaling again. And that was an over-ambitious ball. Vosijor does get a touch now and almost found himself in the clear. Fahy shot charge down and against the post. Larsson gets it back in. Cleared by Son. And then by Nasri. Ridgewell for Birmingham. Zigic, the flag has gone up. Free kick.
Well, margins in finals. How close was he here, Keith Fahy? Put themselves into a little bit of bother. Arsenal, but it's just an instinctive strike when the ball comes back to him. Swings the right boot. Chesney's looking to his right and just praying. Prayers are answered.
Oh, what bad luck for Keith Fahy. He was actually on Arsenal's books as a youngster. They released him 11 years ago. How lonely that would have been. Up back come the Gunners with Sami Nasri. Sanya. Nasri along the ground for Robin van Persie. Son. Wilshere. Shavin's cross pulled into a dangerous area, and Boya didn't really have the picture of what was around him, had to clear it first time.
Well, you got Thomas Rosicky coming in at the back, he had to make the clearance. Well, there were Birmingham's number of attempts. Arsenal, but those all important, on target, all square.
Cleared only as far as Wilshere. Another corner.
I haven't scored too many goals this season, just the two, but dangerous out here this afternoon. Wilshere once again rising to the occasion.
Gently comes to the near post. Song and Giroud behind him. Still in danger here. Usually fatal to let it bounce like that. Song back in. Away by Johnson. And then Beausejour. Arsenal turning the screw here. Wilshere. Song. Rosicky. Little reverse ball for Arshavin. And finally, the pressure subsides.
Oh, that's a waste. By Arshavin. A decent position. It's a pretty even contest, isn't it, this second half? People don't want to call as things stand.
An hour gone in the Carling Cup final, and they're level. 3 of the last 6 finals in this competition have gone to extra time. Giroud. Nasri. Under pressure from Boya straight away. And another misplaced pass. It's so unlike Arsenal. It led to the corner that led to the goal, of course, for Birmingham. Larson. It's a good ball for Boya. Couldn't take it in his stride.
Just behind him, wasn't it?
Beausejour win it back. Ferguson. Now he got flattened there as he played the ball away. Ridgewell. Beausejour in space, intelligent running from him. And the South American gets inside Sanya and gets his cross in.
Well, that's partly why he's on the park, to provide the service with that left foot of his towards Nikola Zigic.
Well, it's been a splendid final so far. Nasri.
It's one or two signs that the game's getting a little bit more stretched than the way it started.
Clichy. Wilshere. Rosicky popping up on the right where he's done so much damage in an Arsenal shirt. Johnson with a decisive interception though. And Birmingham, to their relief, get the free kick. Bitterly cold afternoon now at Wembley.
Well, he's down on the floor, but he has had a good afternoon so far, hasn't he? I mean, he's gone in on tight on Van Persie every time he could. He hasn't allowed the Dutchman to drop off and turn. It's been very sharp. I think he's landed awkwardly here. Had a part in the goal as well, of course.
He's got a long way to come down when he goes into the air, hasn't he? Birmingham today for Arsene Wenger. It's Barcelona soon.
It's from one game to the other now, isn't it, for Arsenal? A packed schedule for them.
Alex McLeish, a tough defender in his own career, looks on to see how Roger Johnson is, far side of Wembley. They don't come much harder than this lad.
I think in general, Alex McLeish should be proud of his players so far, the effort that they've put in, the problems that they've caused Arsenal.
Costa knocks it long for Zigic. That's a good ball too, and Arsenal are caught just having a little bit again then for Fahi's intervention. Johnson back out there in an age when some people would come off with a broken fingernail. I think he'd stay out there with a broken leg.
Well, he's not moving all that smoothly.
No, that is a worry. He's hobbling, and brave as he is, if he's on one leg, he's not much use to Birmingham. Song. Is Sanya. Nasri, clever. And Percy with an even better ball. Back to Nasri. Good interception by Jelinek. And they've got a real concern about Johnson at the moment. He's just not mobile.
Sometimes players have got to be safe for themselves. The physio might have said, "Are you okay?" And he would have said, "Yeah, I'm fine." Hoping he can run it off. An anxious glance to the bench. Keep your eye on him, I think, is the message.
Yeah. McLeish will know how much Johnson is a winner. He'll want to stay out there. But it's the team that matters, not the individual. So they win a header. Nasri, Song. Offside.
It was great squeezing there for Birmingham. It's 5 or 7 yards inside their own half. Really did compress the play.
Zigic peels away again to find space for the header. In behind Boya and Beausejour. There's Van Persie. Rosicki. Onto Nasri. Beausejour went to ground and that opened it up for Nasri. It's a lovely ball. Rosicki. Brilliantly done, but he couldn't provide the pullback for Robin Van Persie.
Still warning for Beausejour there, got caught on his heels, didn't track back on Rosicki.
Carr goes thundering on. Larsson takes over. Zigic is in the middle. The cross was blocked by Clichy. Just looking now at Roger Johnson, he's still on his haunches in the centre circle, clearly not happy.
It is such a vital area as well, isn't it? Slightest mistake up against Robin Van Persie and you're going to be made to pay.
Carr. Larsson. Away by Koscielny. And he slides in and did enough. And we stop play here. I think an Arsenal free kick, is it? Or is he? He seems to quite know what he's done here.
Jelinek was on the deck and just stuck out a leg to poke the ball away. I think he got a knock there.
And he hasn't stopped play in the end. Beausejour. Jelinek all the way back to Foster. 3/4 of the way through the Carling Cup final. And the winner still very much in doubt. thumbs up by the looks of it, but certainly doesn't look right. Carr. Foster delivers towards guess who? It's gone over the head of Zigic this time. Larson. Disappointing cross. And the Swede.
Decided to back off Zigic there and let him go for the ball himself and contest for the second ball.
He only made around a dozen appearances for Arsenal before they sold him to Birmingham. Seb Larson. Well, we wondered if Birmingham might be forced into a change. It looks as though Arsenal are going to voluntarily make one, with Nicholas Bentner coming on in place of their goal scorer and the captain for the day, Robin van Persie.
That's an interesting one. Again, we wonder if he's got a little knock, but he's running fairly freely.
And it just keeps the connections going, because Bentner was the player who helped Birmingham win promotion to the Premier League when he was on loan there 3 seasons ago now.
Well, he's been in decent form lately. Some assists. Played his part.
And especially in this competition, 3 goals in 4 ties. Foster has sliced his clearance. Gets involved straight away and wins a free kick.
A little over eager in Ridgewell to try and win that ball up against Bentner.
Nasri prepares to deliver. Extra target in there now. It's Song who wins the header though.
Never really in a position to get a good connection on it. Been so consistent for Arsenal this season, but this hasn't been his best day, I have to say, Alexander Song.
Minutes remaining at Wembley, possibility of extra time, and maybe even a penalty shootout to decide who wins the season's first major trophy. Song for Arsenal. Nasri. He might have to go it alone here. He has.
He's got such clever feet, you're always reluctant to get too close to Samir Nasri.
Get the throw.
Alex McLeish got a few choices, hasn't he? 3 forwards on there. Kevin Phillips, Jerome and Martins, but I think he'd be reluctant at the moment to change the shape anyway from that 5-man midfield supporting Zigic.
He's done well here. And Larson looked to pick out Boya. Johnson still looking a little uneasy.
A little less uneasy though. Maybe he's getting through it. Great heart, the centre-half, hasn't he?
Zigic up well. Giroud had to clear with Boya right behind him. Now Song. Nasri. Just put that in front of Sanya, not where he wanted it really. Giroud. Full credit to Birmingham for making such a competitive game of this final. And they are still in there with a hope, very much so.
About to make another substitution, another attacking one as well. Arsene Wenger doesn't want this one. Going into extra time, clearly.
Yes, we've got a heavy programme, another half an hour. There's not what's required. And Bentner sees the opportunity. Johnson snatches it away from him.
Yeah, he didn't think it was going to come through, and I think Nicholas Bentner, who was to get going from a standing start.
That'll make Johnson feel better the way he moved on to that. Song. Johnson there to clear again. A lot of time for Alex Song to pick his options. Giroud. Koscielny. Clichy already moving forward to his left. Chooses to go right, and Beausejour read it. Song. Here's Wilshere. Birmingham do defend well.
It's not every day your game plan works quite as well as it has for Birmingham so far.
Far down the line for Larson. Zigic in the box for Birmingham. Others are arriving. Ferguson back again to the skipper. Took some excellent defending from Clichy to stop him.
Yeah, he was quick and he needed that speed there. Left back.
Well, they might be caught a little bit short here, Birmingham. It's Samir Nasri. Will he go it alone? He has, and Foster made a good save. Rosicky back to Nasri. It wouldn't sit down for him or for Arshavin.
That's the first time really Birmingham have been caught short at the back. They really did commit a lot of bodies going forward there. I think it smacked off his face in the end, Ben Foster's.
Nasri again. Lovely bit of skill. Here's Sanya. It's bypassed Rosicky and now straight to the feet of Steve Carr. Oh, he's giving it away. A rare error from him. We've got a man injured here, Birmingham, as play goes on. With the Birmingham fans screaming for Arsenal to stop play. They haven't yet. And the referee's decided to let it go on here. Arshavin. Bentner. Good save by Foster. Splendid stuff.
Oh, and how important was the fact that he had to clear up after as well. And Rosicky coming in. Under an awful lot of pressure at the moment, Birmingham, but standing firm. That's a great stop from Foster, it really is. This is the one that comes up and hits him in the face, I think, off his body.
Birmingham fans very unhappy that Arsenal didn't knock the ball out of play in that previous attack. And now the referee unhappy about the challenge from Lee Bowyer.
There's a few tackles flying in at the moment. Jack Wilshere caught Barry Ferguson earlier on.
Roger Johnson's getting his talking to as well. And meanwhile, Arsenal are going to make that change now. Marouane Chamakh, the Moroccan international who won the French version of the League Cup competition twice in his days with Bordeaux, will replace André Arshavin. Chamakh incidentally got the winner against Birmingham at the Emirates back in October in the Premier League.
It'll be interesting to see where he does line up, whether it's going to be alongside Nicholas Bentner. It's not often that Arsene Wenger reverts to 4-4-2.
Wilshere with a free kick. Bentner. Wilshere pumps it back in again. Giroud going up for it, but Foster always favourite to claim it.
It looks like Bentner has moved out to the right-hand side. Chamakh through the middle.
Jelinek takes the safe route back. Clichy for Arsenal. A great deal on as he looks up. So he goes long, looking for Shanna. Jelinek, the defender. He's got the better of him, and no foul. He rolled it back into space, and Rosicky almost flicked it home. Foster did brilliantly again for Birmingham City.
Well, that's 3 vital interventions now, isn't it, from Ben Foster? Perhaps match-saving interventions. Arsenal looking the team more likely. It's poor from Jelinek. Could have dealt with it. It's a loose first touch. Defender that goes into the path of Rosicky. They're just turning up the pressure now.
Beausejour gets it away, but unsuccessfully. Straight to the feet of Alex Song. Nasri. Great effort, and another superb stop by Foster. But it was man of the match for Manchester United here in the final a couple of years ago. He's well in contention for that award again.
Well, what another Koch Birmingham, aren't they? I'm sure Alex McLeish will be thinking about making a change or two. Looking a bit tired and leggy.
And they're backing away again, inviting the shot from Rosicky this time. Song. Nasri. Testing moments these for Birmingham City. But they've survived another test for the moment anyway.
Well, nothing if not resilient, Birmingham City.
And Carr commits the foul that will give Arsenal another opportunity to get the ball into the box. 10 minutes to go.
I think in many ways you'd rather face a set piece from Arsenal. What is it? 25 yards out or so, rather than having pinging the ball around your box in free play.
Sami Nasri with the free kick. Arsenal fans roar in anticipation. Wilshere there, perhaps just to tap it to him, or do they have a trick up their sleeves here? Nasri hits it. Goal kick.
Well, he's had a fair bit to do, hasn't he, in this second half, and he's done it all really well. And this is one you would certainly expect him to stop. He does well to push the ball away from the danger area.
Well, he's played here previously for England, of course, as well as Manchester United. And this has been another excellent display. I know that Femi Martins is getting ready to come on here for Birmingham. Carr. Well played again by him. And Zigic ready.
That's brilliant from Stephen Carr, isn't it? Really brilliant.
I think he's had an excellent match. Beausejour. That's a corner off Sanya.
Yeah, we'll take that.
They certainly will, because this is where they are a real threat. And they might just hold off the substitution now, for the moment. The Birmingham fans have their opportunity to wonder if this could be their moment. Zigic right in front of the goalkeeper here. Giroud right in front of him. Flicked on beyond Johnson on the far post this time. It's been the kind of match where nobody has left early, that's for sure, because it's really in the balance still, this. Now Obafemi Martins will get his opportunity, replacing Keith Fahy, the Nigerian international, currently on loan at Birmingham from the Russian club Rubin Kazan.
Well, it's been all one-way traffic, hasn't it, last 10 minutes or so, and they needed some fresh legs going the other way. And they've got them, and the former Newcastle player,
who scored his first Birmingham goal in the FA Cup against Sheffield Wednesday last week. And involved straight away here, impressively. Oh yeah. Carr. And the header forward by Beausejour.
Just too much on it, because a little bit less than it was going into the path of Liboya. Yet another run. Oh, they've stacked up, haven't they? Most of his attempts. Only got 3 about 15-20 minutes to go.
Wilshere. Now Son. Rosicki. Gets it back from Shamak. Boya there to get a foot in. Well, I don't know whether that's nerves or the cold, but he's not settled, is he? And no wonder, because Birmingham, the massive underdogs in this final, have made a real game of it and kept everyone guessing right to the end. Son. Flick through back towards Wilshere, and Foster, like a sprinter off his line.
I think they knew coming into this game their back 4 would have to be very solid, and the keeper would have to play his part. Well, Ben Foster's certainly done that so far.
Son. Free kick has been given to Birmingham here. Taken quickly for Beausejour. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes of the possibility of extra time. Boya. Zigic has peeled away, but can't control it.
He took his time before introducing a partner for Zigic, but I think the change that Arsenal made with Bentner and Shamak on together decided him he could afford to.
Birmingham have had some decent form of late since they were hammered 5-0 at Manchester United last month. They've won 5 of their last 7 games. They're through to the quarter-final of the FA Cup. Still involved in the relegation battle, of course, although they do have games in hand on those around them. Zigic. Beausejour. Now Boya. It's a good ball for Carr. Zigic takes up a position, far post. He's got Martins in support as well now. And Carr pulls it back to a dangerous area cleared by Giroud. It's been a wonderful seesaw game, this. Which way will it tip? Samir Nasri for Arsenal. Sanya. Here's Bentner. Nasri. And you can get the usual strong shape behind the ball, but Rosicki, I thought he was going to hit it himself for a moment. He was caught in 2 minds, I think.
He was on to hit it, and his supporters are letting him know that he should have. He'll just sink back onto the edge of their own box. They give him the space to let fly if he wants to.
Well, this is the nervous period of any cup final. One mistake now would surely be fatal. One moment of inspiration would surely make the player concerned a hero. Johnson clears his lines. Flicked on by Zigic to Beausejour. But here's Bentner now on the counter for Arsenal. Rosicki. Sanya. Beausejour tracking him all the way. And he's won a throw for his side.
There aren't many teams fitter than Arsene Wenger's boys. trying to make that play at the moment.
Larson back defending. It's Ferguson who carefully plays it out to Martins. Now Carr. Looked like a foul. Well, we usually say this. There'll probably be at least one more opportunity for both teams here, because I would imagine there'll be a fair chunk of stoppage time, injuries and substitutions. In it goes again towards the towering Zigic. Oh, confusion, and Martins has surely scored the winning goal for Birmingham City! What a finish! What a final! What a celebration! What a shock!
Well, what a calamity as well, as far as Arsenal's defending goes. Szczesny and Koscielny just getting each other's way. Nobody takes charge. When Zigic heads it down, there's no danger whatsoever, is there? Between the two of them, where's the shout? He pulls out at the last minute, Koscielny. I don't think you can pull out there. Just put your boot through it, clear it, and ask questions later. You cannot afford to pull out at that stage. It is a gift.
Obafemi Martins scores the easiest goal of his career. It could be the most important. But wait, here's Bentner for Arsenal. Beausejour gets it clear, but only as far as Sagna. 4 minutes of stoppage time at Wembley. This one is going right to the wire. And Martins is on the chase again here. And the goalkeeper's committed himself and got it right this time.
Boy, did he need to get it right. It's been a difficult afternoon for the youngster.
Well, you have to feel for him. All his family over from Poland, his 70-year-old grandfather amongst them, who's never left Poland before in his life, watching from the stands and seeing the part that his grandson played in that calamitous goal that has got them almost in tears at the Arsenal end.
No, they just can't believe it, can they? I mean, it's one thing to get beaten by a well-worked goal, but that's such a schoolboy error on Arsenal's part. Two players getting in each other's way, and I mean, as the senior man there, Koscielny, I just think he's got an opportunity to find Rose there. Just do it, no matter whether you get a shout from the keeper or not.
Nikola Zigic is going off to a hero's reception from that end of the stadium. Well, they talk about genius substitutions. Obafemi Martins came on, touched the ball once, I think, before scoring what looks like it's going to be the match-winning goal. Now Cameron Jerome has replaced Zigic. The Birmingham fans are in raptures. No one expected this.
They've had to absorb so much pressure from Arsenal, haven't they, in this second half? And I mentioned Ben Foster's part in it. It looked like it just kept them in the match. Well, it might have won them this time.
What an extraordinary game this has been. What an extraordinary goal looks likely to win it. Halfway through the allotted 4 minutes of stoppage time, and Birmingham City are close to a famous triumph here. They just want to keep the ball. Larson dives in, Jerome hits it against the defender and wins a corner. Just what they needed.
Well, they've got a bit of work to do yet, but there's been some mammoth performances out there in blue. Their senior pros have stood up, the likes of Stephen Carr has been inspirational. Lee Bowyer has been magnificent in the middle of the park. They've done everything they could have possibly hoped to do in this match.
Larson. Oh, did he make the wrong decision there? I thought he was going to try and keep it in the corner. We are less than 60 seconds away from the final whistle in the 2011 Carling Cup final. The 4-1 on favourites are trailing by 2 goals to 1. And here's the man who gave them the lead. Obafemi Martins, he's through again. Extraordinary again from Martins. And he almost made it safe.
No, it's just desperate stuff, isn't it? It's desperate defending. Well, he's created problems with that pace of his, hasn't he? Martins could have easily have put it to bed there.
Beausejour wins the header. Arsenal are desperate now. Even they will surely just pump it long. And Clichy does just that. Carr wins the header. Seconds remaining at Wembley. Pearson clears, but the whistle had already gone for a Birmingham. Hang on, seconds here, counting as Ferguson, I think, is shown a yellow card, presumably for kicking the ball away.
Yeah, Jack Wilshere getting involved. He just needs to settle down. Seconds, though, for Arsenal to redeem themselves.
This is it. If they don't score from this, they surely won't score at all. Birmingham fans screeching for the whistle as it goes back in again. Birmingham City have triumphed against all the odds and pulled off one of the biggest upsets in the history of the League Cup final. Arsenal, the odds-on favourites, have been beaten, and their long wait for a trophy goes on. Devastation. Very few people outside St Andrews gave Birmingham any hope of winning here today. But they stayed true to the words of their famous theme song. They kept right on to the end of the road, and Obafemi Martins closed that road off for Arsenal to pull off a famous victory. And Birmingham will lift their first trophy for almost 50 years, and only the second major prize in the club's whole history. The 2011 Carling Cup goes to Birmingham, who've beaten Arsenal by 2 goals to 1. And the goal-scoring hero is down there now.
Obafemi, have you ever scored an easier goal in your life?
I think this is the most easiest goal ever that I scored in my career. And it's very important, so, you know, I'm glad that I scored today, and I won, and we won, so I'm very happy.
You played in the last 3 games, the manager left you on the bench. Were you determined to make an impact when you came on?
You know, the gaffer said to me, that I'm going to come in the second half, that I should try and give my best. So, I think the gaffer did it right, you know.
Was it virtually your first touch of the ball?
What?
Was it virtually your first touch of the ball?
I think this second touch. You know, I'm glad.
What does this mean to Birmingham?
I think it means a lot to the fans, and it means a lot to the players as well, because, you know, the fans really need this trophy, and we players too, so we're very happy.
Well, you've taken your place in history. Go and join the celebrations.
I know if I score, I have to do it, you know, to make the fans more happier.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
OK, let's hear now from Alex McLeish.
Alex, can you put into words just how proud you are to win a cup final here at Wembley?
Oh, wow, it feels like the greatest ever in terms of personal achievement. When you consider the team we were up against. We weren't given a prayer, really, I think, by the pundits and the bookies, and, you know, I did say 9 times out of 10 Arsenal would win, but we believed today. That was a titanic performance by the players, heroic.
What did it take to get you over the line? I know there might have been a bit of fortune with the winning goal, but you were in this game right the way through. How?
Well, we had a game plan, and we stuck to it. we managed to get our noses in front. That gives you a great chance to set your stall upon. And then we thought if we could keep it going as long as we could, and we would get the quick guys on it, the death, and they were the guys that could win it for us. I said Oba or Kevin Phillips could have won it for us.
Perfect game plan today. Got to take some credit yourself, haven't you?
Well, you need a little bit of luck. You know, there's no doubt that you need a little bit of luck, and we deserved our luck today. Thought it was a courageous performance by our players.
Many congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
I said all week that it's just 90 minutes of football and that's all it is. Anything can happen. And the team spirit we got in there is something I've never felt before. It's amazing. And that's what we said going in the tunnel. You know, they may have a lot of quality players, but they haven't got the team spirit we've got, and it showed.
How does this compare with when you won it last time?
This is a very nice feeling. This is massive for me. You know, with United, you kind of expected in a way to win it. But we'll celebrate tonight properly because this is a huge achievement, and you can see all the fans going absolutely wild, and they deserve it. It's been a long time coming, and you know, it's fantastic.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you, cheers.
Yes, you can only imagine the pain these Arsenal players must be feeling. They do have bigger fish to fry, the Premier League, the Champions League still within their sights, but this was a final, this was a chance to prove they can win trophies as well as playing the beautiful game. And now they've let it slip through their fingers, and their 6-year wait for a trophy goes on. A team whose brand of football has entertained millions still have nothing to show for it. But Birmingham, well, they came here as massive underdogs, rank outsiders, written off by most neutrals, but against the odds, it's they who have triumphed. And this moment will go down in club history. It's only the second trophy they've ever won since they were formed 136 years ago. What a birthday present for their owner, Carson Young.
Time to ask for a wage rise, I think. That is what makes football special, the fact that Birmingham can close what is quite a huge gap, really, between Arsenal and Birmingham in terms of class and ability. Alex McLeish knows that. He's under no illusions, but he came in with a game plan, and as I said earlier, it's not often that it works so perfectly as it did. I mean, they had to work for it, but they deserve their luck.
Well, it's a victory that will never be forgotten, and it's been made all the more special by beating Arsenal, one of the great names of English football, and certainly one of the finest teams of the current generation. The trophy will be presented to the winning captain by Mark Hunter, Chief Executive of the competition sponsors, Molson Coors Brewing Company in the United Kingdom. The officials have already received their medals. Mike Dean, his assistants Mike Malarkey and Ron Ganfield, fourth official Kevin Friend, and fifth official Scott Ledger. And we'll have the Alan Hardiker Trophy for Man of the Match presented soon as well by the chairman of the winning club. But this is Birmingham's moment. They were devastated when they lost the final in Cardiff 10 years ago. Their two previous trips to Wembley also ended in failure. But tonight, Birmingham can celebrate. Stephen Carr, in a moment, will step forward to receive that glittering trophy. And with it, the first major prize of the season and a place in Europe. It's Foster, not surprisingly, who gets the man of the match. Second time in 3 years for him. What an achievement.
Yeah, I think a lot of doubts were cast on his ability, weren't they, when he was at Manchester United, but seems to have found a home at Birmingham. He's really enjoying his football and showing his best form.
This is quite simply the greatest moment in Birmingham's history.
There's a lot of boys up there that have been around the block more than once, and I think they realise, they appreciate what this means and how hard it is to get into this position. They could only have dreamed it would end this way.
Lee, in your long career, what are these moments like?
This is special. I'm just disappointed it's took so long to get there, but this is unbelievable, you know. I've waited so long. I think I've been playing like 15 years now at the top, and it's my first final. I've got 100% record.
In a way, do you feel justice was done because you know you were onside in the first half?
Yeah, but sometimes you get them decisions, sometimes you don't. But I think we deserved it overall. We kept pressing and pressing. We had a game plan, and obviously that worked. You know, the gaffer ball on Martins at the end, he's nicked it, they fumbled. It happens. It's football. Everyone underestimated us, but we knew that we was going to push them to the last minute. And we've nicked it, and we're going home champions.
Can your old legs catch the rest of them up now?
I'm all right, I'm still box to box at 34, not bad, is
it? Stephen, when you were thinking of retiring a couple of years ago, did you ever imagine to be back at Wembley lifting trophies?
Nah, frightening how it's worked out. I say the gaffer gave me a little chance, I took it. And 2 years later, I'm lifting the cup for the club, which is a long time since they've done it. So, amazing.
In some ways, does that make it all the more sweeter?
Oh, definitely, yeah, because people write you off. And to come out now Wembley and win a cup is it's fairy tale. But luckily enough, it just worked out for me.
Just what does it mean to this club and these fans?
Oh, Jesus, I think you can see. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, no one gave us a chance, you know what I mean? We fancied it in that dressing room because we knew if we play top of our game and get right in their faces, we caused them problems. I think we did that. Bear in mind, near the end, obviously, we get a bit of luck at the goal. When we kept plugging away, they had that chance as Ben played unbelievable. But we could have gone 2-0 up as well in the first half. So, then they could have gone anyway in the end. Obviously, 1-1 going down to the end. But luckily enough, Martins came on and nicked the first.
How much was your victory down to heart and character?
Well, as I said to the lads before we went out, we know the quality Arsenal have. Unbelievable. There's more quality in their dressing room. But I don't think there's more heart. And I think we showed that in the end, where everybody fights for each other and scraps for each other. And that's what won us the game.